Welcome back to Legacy Build Your Kingdom. I'm your host, Rudy Knapp. If you're a returning builder, welcome back to this job site. If you're a first time builder, grab some tools, buckle up, and let's get ready to build that kingdom that you look forward to. We are in year two, and we know what year two is all about. Year one was about the why, it was about waking up from being lost, it was about recognizing that you were lazy, unmotivated, stuck, and torturing yourself with empty dreaming. But here in year two is all about the how. It's tactical. It's about taking action. It's about taking those five pillars, your spiritual uplift, your mental health growth, your physical enhancement, your finances, career development, and your relationship intelligence, and putting massive, unrelenting action behind them. So here we are in year two. And just like we discussed, if you're a returning builder or if you're a first time builder, you need to continue with action and not just the how. Not just the why, but the actual how. I started my how, a long time ago. I continue over and over and over again every single day with that tedious micro of the how. That means everyday actions, the lazy Tuesday mornings we talked about, which build up to this greater big macro purpose, these goals. Last week, I released something that was very micro driven every single day, writing, starting over a year ago, I think March of last year. Tedious writing, sentence for sentence, paragraph. One paragraph led to one page led to a chapter, another chapter, another chapter. So last week I introduced this concept of me writing this book. And I wrote this book, Legacy Build Your Kingdom. It's a divine blueprint. And I wrote this and I introduced it last week for this reason. We have purpose in life. And I believe 100% that my purpose from God Himself, not that God came down and told me something, but there's something inside us that tells us what we know we're supposed to do. There's something inside you that tells you what you're supposed to do. You know right from wrong. You know what your purpose is in life. You have to determine that. You have to know what it is, and you have to act on it. So many people know their purpose and they don't act on it. They waste away that purpose. So many people misunderstand purpose with their job. Your job is to pay bills. Your job is to provide. Your purpose could be aligned to your job, but your purpose goes above and beyond just your job. I am a teacher. That is my profession. I am not known for just being a teacher. What happens when I'm not a teacher anymore? Do I have no purpose? No, my purpose is not just being a teacher. It is helping others get the best out of their ability. I believe that 100%. I believe God wants me to do that. Whether people believe in it or not, I believe in it. And part of that is being a teacher and helping those students. It's also being a coach on the athletic field and helping people with life skills, these kids with life skills. It's also being a life coach that I started a business so that I can stand here and help people accomplish their goals. We talked about that in the last few episodes here. Some of the success that I've seen, it's amazing. These people have put in the work, they put in the micro, they got the macro, and they're continuing to strive, and it's amazing. My life's purpose is to push forward and to help those people in my life and those people that are not in my life. And a big step last week, releasing this book, putting it out on Amazon. Please go get yourself a copy. Please pass it on to whoever. I know I've heard so many people say, I'm going to get your book. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to support you. I want to see. It's not just about buying books. It's about getting the message of what I'm trying to do to help get the best out of your ability. I believe wholeheartedly with everything that I put into this for over a year that all you have to do is read and you will make a connection to it. All you have to do is skim through it. You don't even have to read cover to cover. You have to skim through and find what relates to you. That's okay. I believe cover to cover is going to help your life immensely. It's not just from my opinion. These are from things that are passed down with strategies and activities that can help you. It's interactive, that literally can help you from some of the things that you suffer with. I still help myself with it. I still go back to my strategies. Believe me, disclaimer, even today's disclaimer about our podcast today, I am not perfect. I try all of these things throughout my life, and I've seen them come to life and become great. There are sometimes we cycle. We have to go back. We have to get ourselves back on track. That's the whole concept of 5 pillars. Sometimes our finances fall apart, and we have to get back on working on those finances. In the meantime, we have to keep the rest of them nice and sturdy as we're building. We have to work on our relationship every single day. We have to work on relationships with our kids every single day. We have to work on all of our finances so that our kingdom is built strong and passed down. We have to make sure our career is okay and that we want to move forward, that we're always striving for more. We have to make sure that God comes first, that everything comes back to Him. And part of this book is passing a message of God. It is a divine blueprint for a reason. The architect is Him, it's not me. I am building this kingdom based on His divine presence. I'm also working on my mental health based on understanding these 5 pillars. But overall, a lot of people see the physical build, your temple. You want to be here for 100 years, you need to build that temple. Eat right, work on yourself. We're not all going to be in great shape. We all don't have to be bodybuilders. We all don't have to have every meal be perfect. But we do have to take a step to invest in our health. We have to invest in our brains, our minds, therapy, certain things that people do to truly work on their mental health. Sometimes that's challenges. Sometimes that's writing a book, my mental challenge. Sometimes that's doing tough programs. Sometimes that's just sitting down and using those small activities, the micro tedious things to help us get through the day. I say all of this because this is my purpose and I believe in it. So I beg for people to pass this along, pass this book along, go on Amazon, buy one. I need people to purchase. I need people to pass it along. I need people to give me a 5-star review with some sort of review, because then what happens is it puts my book, Amazon puts my book with all those bigger self-help type of books so that people can notice it, so that the purpose is to get them to see the message. I promise you, if you have any trust in who I am, if you've had any influence from me being in your life at all, I'm asking you as a favor to me to go out and put this support in. And once you do, please pass this to every person you can. That's the most important. I believe in this. I believe in the value of this. And I want you to believe in it. I truly want you to look at it and say, hey, I took this from this. Have a conversation with me. I love the feedback. I believe this is something that is bigger than me. And I wish that you would get on board with that, because I think that is something that is great. Those of you that have already supported, I can't thank you enough. Please pass this on. So again, going back to this concept, this is about purpose. And we're in year 2. And about our purpose is putting things into action. So today we're going to talk about a concept that is absolutely critical if you want your kingdom to survive past next Tuesday. We are talking about the kingdom fortress, setting sovereign boundaries. So many times we talk about this. So many times we talk about boundaries. You want your kingdom to thrive, setting sovereign boundaries. You hear me say sovereign all the time, because we are not mediocre. We are not average. We are sovereigns. Let me ask you a question. What good is it to spend your morning building a beautiful palace from the floor up, stacking your micro victories at 4 a.m., the 4 a.m. workouts on your physical temple, securing your financial treasury, if you leave the front gates wide open for anyone to walk in and steal your peace? Most men and women, they fail. They fail to build this legacy, not because they lack ambition, but because they have zero border control. They let toxic relationships, endless distractions, and the demands of low-value people breach their walls every single day. They think they're being nice. They think they're being helpful. No, you're not being helpful. You are being a subject to someone else's agenda. And today we are going to learn how to become the sovereign of your own time, your own energy, and your own mind. So let's get into it. The first part, I want you to think of this: the sovereign versus the subject. Now let's look at the reality of how most people live. We live in an era of drifting. People wander around with no direction, and because they have no vision for their own lives, they try to pull you into their chaos. Think about your 5 pillars. Let's talk about your mental health and your relationship intelligence. A subject is someone who just manages that machinery for someone else's benefit. They believe that setting boundaries makes them selfish. They feel guilty when they say no. They take phone calls at 10 o'clock at night from friends who only want to dump their drama and ferment their unhealed trauma. They accept extra projects at work that have nothing to do with their career advancement just because they want to be liked. They're a pushover. They say yes to social obligations that drain their bank account and steal the time they should be spending leading their family. What happens to that person? They end up with a life of unfinished walls. They're completely depleted. And then when it's time to work on their own kingdom, they have nothing left to give. They're exhausted, they're irritable, and they're resentful. They put too much on their plate. So those of you out there that understand that you're putting too much on your plate, you're setting up boundaries with the wrong people. You're looking into making sure that you are liked and you're worried about what everybody else thinks. You think you can make everybody happy. You burn yourself out and you don't have anything to give to the people that you should be giving to, the ones in your kingdom, the ones at your table, your person, your kids. A sovereign operates differently. A sovereign understands that the energy it's final. Your time is a non-renewable resource. When you say yes to a distraction, you are automatically saying no to your legacy. When you say yes to an unannounced guest or a gossip session or a low-value obligation, you are saying no to your 4 a.m. mandate. You are saying no to your physical pillar, your physical health. You are saying no to your spouse and to your children and to your person or your someone. I want you to write this down or imprint it in your mind right now. A boundary is not a wall to keep people out. It is a fortress to keep your purpose safe. This concept of safety has been in my life lately. You have to feel safe. You have to feel at peace. You have to find the right people that will give you that. You are protecting your safety with those walls, with those boundaries. If you don't define your borders of your kingdom, I promise you, someone else will define them for you. Setting boundaries, letting people cross them, they will take over and they control your security. They control those walls of your kingdom. They will set up camp in your territory. They will eat your food. They will burn your resources and they will leave you bankrupt. You have to audit who and what we are letting across that line. Think about that. It's powerful to let go of people that don't fit. It shows you control of your own kingdom. There are people out there that are worth the fight, that are worth being part of your kingdom. And there are people that just take. If you feel those concepts of being taken advantage of, letting go of your boundaries for, and there's no good that comes from that, you need to set those boundaries so that you are safe. There are 3 enemy breaches. And I want to talk about all 3. So where are the breaches happening? You know, in my coaching practice at Legacy Coaching, I see 3 major areas where builders let their defenses crumble. I want you to look in the mirror right now and ask yourself, which one of these is destroying your progress? Breach number 1, the emotional vampires, as I call it. These are people in your circle who are trapped in unhealed trauma, but they have no desire to change. They don't want solutions. They want company in their misery. You guys listened to the episode a few weeks ago about how toxic behavior stems from suppressed trauma. We went in depth about that. People that were hurt when they were younger, people that went through relationships that were hurt, they have this toxic behavior that was formed because they kept this trauma inside deep, and now it's spewing all over whoever their person is. But here is the next level of truth. It is not your job to be a rehabilitation center for people who refuse to pick up a shovel and build themselves. They need to work on themselves. They need to put in the work, and you can help, but it is not your job to fix it for them. If you have a friend or family member who constantly brings chaos into your living room, you are violating your relationship intelligence pillar by allowing it. You are letting their inner toxicity ferment inside your house. Think about how damaging that can be. Breach number 2, the time bandits. These are the casual text messages, the got-a-minute meetings at work, the endless scrolling, the invitations to events that don't align with your 100-year vision. These are the micro thieves. They look small. It's just 15 minutes here, 10 minutes there. But remember what we teach here. Kingdoms are built from the floor up on consistency. If you let people steal 10 minutes of your focus 5 times a day, they don't just steal an hour. They stole your momentum. They broke your focus. They ruin the mortar between your bricks. They steal your time. They steal more than just time. They change things within you. Breach number 3, the guilt trap. This is the internal enemy. This is your own mind telling you, if I don't help them, I'm a bad person. If I don't go to this party, they'll think I'm better than them, or they'll be angry at me. Let me tell you something straight. If people get angry when you start setting boundaries, it's because they were benefiting from your lack of them. Read that again in your mind. If people get angry when you start setting boundaries, it's because they are benefiting from your lack of boundaries. Their anger is not proof that you are doing something wrong. It is proof that the boundary was desperately needed. You cannot lead with endless effort if you are constantly bleeding out from self-inflicted wounds. You cannot build a 100-year cathedral if you let people steal the stone from your yard. How could you build without the things that you need to build with? Set your boundaries. Moving forward, this tactical blueprint for this border control, this is how. How do we fix it? We are in year 2. I don't just want you to listen to me and say, oh, wow, that does make sense. I want you to be an active builder, not passive listeners. I want tactical execution. Here is your blueprint for establishing sovereign boundaries, broken down across your pillars. Establish your sovereign schedule. Your calendar is the first line of defense. If a block of time is not scheduled, it is open for invasion. You need to create non-negotiable blocks of time for your pillars. Your 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. block, that is your king's treasury. That belongs to your spiritual uplift, your journaling, your physical enhancement. It is completely dark to the outside world. No emails, no text, no social media. If someone tries to reach you at 5:30 in the morning and is not your person, not your family, not your kids, the wall is up. Only people that matter in that small circle get your time during that to be able to interrupt you. You should try to block that completely out from everyone. That is your time with God. That is your time to work out. That is your time to reflect. That is your time to be ready for the day. 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. That's mine. I hope that yours is somewhere similar to that. If you get up at 6, it's from 6 to 9. Whatever the case is, 2 to 3 hours, that is your time. The same applies to your family time at home. When you're sitting at what we call the sovereign table, like in the previous podcast, with your spouse, your kids, your person, your phones are off. That time is heavily fortified. No business partner, no client, no casual friends gets to breach that perimeter of your family dinner. I know there's times where I have failed at this, and I know I'm actively trying to work at it. Put away your phone. Even though you got a lot on your plate, put away your phone. Don't let those text messages take over. You can always write them back in an hour. That time is sacred. Step number 2, descriptive sovereignty. This is your relationship intelligence. A lot of you don't set boundaries because you don't know how to say it. I think you have to be, I think most people think you have to be rude or aggressive. You don't. True authority is quiet. True authority is calm. I'm going to give you the exact words that you can use. When a time bandit asks you for a piece of your day and that doesn't align with your goals, you don't make up a long, lying excuse. A subject would be a person that makes excuses. A sovereign gives a clear statement. You look at them in the eye or you send a text and you say, I appreciate you thinking of me, but I am fully committed to some major projects right now, and I don't have the capacity to give this the attention it deserves. I have to pass. Think about that. That doesn't sound awful. It's not that mean or rude. But what it does is it says, I am direct, that my time is not here for that. My time is being used on something else. That's it. No apology for your priorities. No, I'm sorry, I wish I could. You are prioritizing construction of your legacy. There's no apologies here. This is your time. And what is the most valuable, non-renewable resource again? Time. If it is an emotional vampire, someone trying to drag you into a 2-hour gossip session, you have to say, I care about you, but I don't have the emotional space to carry this right now. If you are looking for a tactical plan to fix this, I am all in to help you build it. But if we are just going to vent, I have to protect my peace today. Are they looking for action? Are they looking for help? Or are they looking to vent? You can't take on all of that in your brain. Those are things that we were saying a subject would do. We are sovereigns. Watch how fast the wrong people stop knocking on your door when they realize your door requires them to take accountability. That's a strong statement right there. People will not knock on your door for gossip and will not ask you for tedious things if they know you are strong and that you have purpose behind your actions. I'm not telling you to go not be friends with people. I'm not saying that you can't talk to people on the phone and spend some time catching up and doing certain things. But if it's something that is negative, that's weighing down on you and adds you to another issue in your life, or you get brought into someone else's problems, you have to remove it. Step 3, weaponizing your no. This is your financial and career pillar. In your career and your finances, saying no to the good is how we say yes to the great. Every economic storm tests the strength of your foundation. If you are chasing every single dollar, taking every low-paying client, or joining every loose joint venture, your business has no identity. You are acting out of being scared. A sovereign sets a standard. You filter opportunities through a 100-year vision. If a business deal or a career move makes you money today, but damages your character, your health, or your family's stability tomorrow, it's a bad deal. Cut it loose. Secure your treasury by defending your core values, not by compromising it for a quick check. The legacy standard. I want to bring this home with a story. I want to talk about the generational standard. Think about your children or a future generation that is watching you. Nieces, nephews. Your descendants are walking in the territory you conquered today. But guess what else they are doing? They're copying your patterns. If your children watch you let people walk all over you, if they see you constantly stressed out because you don't say no to your boss or your toxic friends or your distractions, you are modeling submission. You are teaching them how to be a subject. You are passing down a legacy of broken walls. But imagine a different scenario. Imagine your children walking next to their father, watching their father or mother who commands the room with quiet respect. Imagine them seeing you look at your watch and say, it's 6 p.m., my work day is over. My family is my priority now. Imagine them seeing you gracefully decline an invitation to someone or something toxic because it doesn't align with who you are. You are showing them what a king looks like, or a queen. You are teaching them the architect of your self respect. When you build a fortress around your life, you aren't just protecting yourself, you are protecting the next 3 generations of kingdoms that you are meant to influence. You are ensuring that when you are no longer in the room, when you pass the crown down to the sovereign table, the territory is secure. The borders are marked. The laws of the kingdom are clear. This is just like what we talk about in my book, Legacy Build Your Kingdom, a divine blueprint. This is part of what you need to continue to move forward and pass down who you are, what you represent to those that are generations to come. So we're going to call it an action. We're going to call this the weekly challenge. We're going to wrap this all up. You know how I operate. I don't want passive listeners. I want active builders. Here is your legacy audit challenge for this week. I want you to take out a piece of paper and I want you to draw a line down the middle. On the left side, I want you to write down the top 3 border breaches in your life right now. Is it a specific person? Is it a habit? Is it a lack of a schedule? Identify who or what is stealing your bricks. On the right, I want you to write down your sovereign boundary you are going to enforce starting today. Not next month, today. If it is a person, you are going to have that quiet, firm conversation or set the communication limit. If it is your schedule, you are going to lock in your 4 a.m. mandate and treat it like an appointment with a billionaire because it is an investment in your multi-million-dollar legacy. So stop drifting. Stop letting the world dictate the shape of your kingdom. You are the architect. You are the builder. Secure your perimeter, protect the treasury, and build a fortress that no economic or emotional storm can ever shake. Your kingdom is waiting. Your descendants are watching. The blueprint is eternal. But the time to build is right now. Go on. Set your boundaries. Lead. And if you read my book, and if you decide to read my book, you will hear this. And I want you to take this with you as you leave now. Build your kingdom, but never forget who you're building it for. Till next time.